You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30, let's do a first take. On Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray, Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim, the Cheat Sheet Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we broadcasting all over the United States. Wait a minute, all over the world. But guess what, Jimmy? It's Women Rock Wednesday. This is my favorite day of the week. And Angie Holcomb, Lori Dotson are the two women that I see on here first. Where the women at? Hey, Jimmy. Oh, Sadea Williams is on. Okay. Sadea, I got to write your name down. See, I have to do this manually because I take pride in the taking care of the women in the Chop Shop. So I had to stop. And now I'm waiting. It's some more women. Jimmy, I'm not going to start the show till some more women get on here. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm going to sit here and talk. Because, Mindy Collins. Hold up, Jimmy. Jimmy, I wish you can write it for me because I got something else. But that's all right. I got Mindy. Hold on, but Jimmy. I got something, Jimmy. I got a PSA. Okay? Public service announcement, right? If you want to still have movie night with your friends, Jimmy, you know I'm going to come up with something for you without risking COVID-19 spread, right? Chrome, as in Google Chrome, has an extension called Netflix Party that allows you to simultaneously stream Netflix with your friends. Hold up. You got to have a password. You can't be, you got to have a password. Jimmy, it has a chat window, a play and pause for everyone in the group so they stay synced. Unbelievable. See how innovative people are Jimmy, when our backs up against the wall. You see how creative you had to get last week. Did you? Anissa Seville just showed up. But Jimmy, let me get this monologue out the way. The league year starts today. NFL league year starts today. Starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And all the Florida deals that you've been hearing about are going to happen. Everything going to kind of formulate today. Um, Jimmy, I can't wait to see the tweets and the press releases after 4 p.m. Eastern today. How fast they're going to all come out, especially the one that sends TB to TB. Check that out. You get that later. You get that one later. You get that one later. Hey, you know what? You know what I thought about these last couple of days? The quantity of deals for the offseason hadn't changed. We will always have trades. What has changed this year is obviously what Tom Brady's involved, and a lot of quarterbacks that are involved, in this movement as well. I can remember. I can't remember, Jimmy, a time when so many quarterbacks involved in free agency. The only time this was big is when Peyton Manning. You remember when Peyton Manning? Everybody was wondering where Peyton Manning was going. Where we're going to see quarterbacks that we done got so used to seeing them with one team. And now they're going to be with other teams. And remember I told y'all this, Jimmy. Nothing changes a franchise or more like a quarterback. Nothing. All the great teams going to always have a great quarterback. So what else you got today, Jimmy? I got more, but I got more. But I want to find the last woman who signed in so I can write her name down. What you got?
What do you mean, the last woman?
Hold up. In the starting five. Huh?
You have a message from Anissa Ville.
What'd she say?
She says her name is pinned in the boom boom room. It's pinned on there. And she said, you can't see her? You can't see Anissa?
She didn't come first. Anissa, you dare, sweetie.
I don't think you want them type of problems.
Anissa Ville, let me tell you something. Let me show you how this thing works. First of all, you one of my sweethearts too, right? But guess what? Miss Angie Holcomb, I saw her name pop up first. Then Miss Lori Dotson, she already gonna give me for anything. Anything I do wrong, she got something to say. Then Sadea Williams, a Juice daughter, and then we had Miss Mindy Collins, one of the first families in Hightower basketball. And last but not least, the first lady of the gym in Atascocita, Anissa Ville. Jimmy, is that better? Did I get out of it, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So what you got?
Now, of course, a lot of the trades from yesterday, we touched on a few of them, on not trades, but signings, free agent signings. And indeed, the Carolina Panthers had signed Teddy Bridgewater. Mm-hmm. And, he got a good bag, $40 million guaranteed of the $63 million deal, 3-year deal. So roughly Teddy's getting $21 million per, if you average it out.
But Jimmy, help, Jimmy. And I know you love to say that because maybe you just, in football, you never think about per. Okay? You never think about per in football because football is what you get guaranteed. Because those last years on your contract, they're going to always restructure or cut you or redo your deal. So in football, so if anybody don't understand this, in National Football League, that's why everybody always talk about the guarantees. Because that's the only money that you're going to guarantee get. Most likely that stuff, when they talking about the boy got $100 million contract the other day, Amari, I went and looked at the deal. He get 10 upon signing. He get 10 for a base. That's $20 million. But it's guaranteed. He get 20 the next year. Guaranteed. So that's $40 million that he has guaranteed. And that next year, he has to be healthy to get that other $20 million. He got to be 5 days on the roster in the season before he gets that other $20 million. So that's why I always it's some language, it's different language. They put that, you can always remember, the newspaper never has the physical uh, 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 um, contract. That's why they never post it. It goes to the Players Association. Copy stay with the player. Copy stay with the agent. And what you do is, like they call you. Let's say they call me. I'll tell them certain things about the contract that I want people to know. So a lot of stuff. That's what Dak's thing's going on right now. We talking about they've offered Dak. Don't mind the money that they offered him. Dak worried about the number of years Cowboys want 5. Dak want 4. So guess what? He can go back to the well again. And what I mean by go back to the well, go back into free agency again, because he knows what's his name, Patrick Mahomes is about to get a big bag. So I just, I know in the NBA it's per. In the NFL is how much you get guaranteed and how much you get up front. Y'all remember Antonio Brown? He had a guarantee, but he voided the guarantee by running his mouth and doing something on Thursday. All he had to wait till his Monday, and that contract was, he could have got the money. But guess what? He didn't do what was stipulated in the contract. So always remember, it's what you can be. He had a contract, Jimmy. he had a contract, but he didn't get it because it's what you guarantee and what you get up front. What I love about Julio Jones got all 64 of his guaranteed million. Jimmy, one check. Russell Wilson, 79, 78 million, one check. That's the key, because after that, they ain't thinking about you. I just wanted to share that so people can understand there's a difference. That's the biggest difference between the NFL and the NBA. Oh, hey, Jimmy.
Well, in the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton is
still. Yeah.
Because Cam Newton feels you got this money in the bag, you could have re-upped with me. I'm only 31 years old.
He didn't want.
I understand. You could have re-upped with me. Now, mind you, this is a new head coach, right, coming into Carolina, which they are officially in rebuilding mode. Sometimes you make a choice, right? We're going to make a push for it. Oh, you know what? We can make. So Carolina.
You think they're in rebuilding mode? Jimmy, they got a great defense. They got a hell of a running back. And they just paid this boy $63 million. You don't pay nobody $63 million for a rebuild. $60 million, $3 million.
If they were in the mode to go and push for this title.
It was a new owner. Remember, new owner, Jimmy.
New head coach.
New owner. Let me tell you something. And if you notice the press conference, see that, Jimmy, you always talk about the press conference. You always talk about in college, because you let me equate that. You know how you used to tell me in college when the AD have to come and say something about your job, it's pretty much, dude, you dead man walking. You remember those situations, right? Hey, when Dave Tepper bought this team, he never said anything positive about Cam Newton. Go back. Google Dave Tepper, everybody, Tepper, and understand he didn't say nothing about this going to be our quarterback. He could have gave him a deal then. He got 1 year left, $19 million. And at the last minute, they said, guess what? You can go seek a trade. Why didn't they ask him to seek? Why didn't they do that? Give him that permission early? Because they was waiting to see what they were going to do. So it's right now, I don't like that. It's another organization that I don't like, but right now I'm not liking. Now, this is the same organization with Jerry Richardson that they had to take the team from. Remember, Jimmy? The old man who was talking crazy about it. I think his name, Jerry Richardson. The old owner for the Carolina Panthers who used to have the guy sitting on his knees and all that kind of stuff. Remember I told you that was years ago. But Dave Tepper, something about him, I just don't like. He didn't embrace Cam. And I'm not saying it's because he hired another black quarterback. So I'm not saying that. But it's something about Cam the guy didn't like. Yeah.
And one of the statements on this, we're talking about the Carolina Panthers. The general manager Marty Hurney issued a statement on yesterday. He says one of the distinct pleasures of my career was selecting Cam with the first pick of the 2011 draft. Every year, difficult decisions are made, and they are never easy.
Who said that?
The GM,
Okay.
Marty Hurney,
Okay.
for the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
The Panthers are in a rebuilding mode.
Think about what you said, Jimmy. So if he selected Cam, that same guy was in the GM. He was in that program in the Jerry Richardson era.
Mm-hmm.
The same guy you're talking about. But keep going. I'm sorry.
The Panthers are now in a rebuilding mode under new coach Matt Rule. Now, I didn't realize that, because I mean, a lot of on this side, you don't really focus on the lineman that hard. That's you really don't. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, maybe linebackers. They get the defensive ends. Maybe some secondary, but not the linemen are pretty much on the offensive side of the ball. Or they kind of get the last of the lust. And the Carolina Panthers, they also parted ways with their Pro Bowl right guard. And, so, I mean, it's one of those things. Now, I didn't realize, did you guys see what Cam said on social media?
Hold up, but think about what you just said. You had Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, you can connect the dots with Teddy Bridgewater.
If I'm Teddy Bridgewater, and you just say they got rid of my all-pro what?
No, what did I say? Right tackle?
Jimmy, he protects me.
Right guard.
He protects me.
Yeah.
You don't never, the quarterback want to hear that. But go finish. But I'm just telling you never want to hear that.
So understand. So that means now you got your Super Bowl, your all-pro quarterback is gone, right? Multi-year all-pro quarterback. That's Cam. And now, of course, Bridgewater, is a hot commodity, one of the hottest commodities out there. He won 5 straight with New Orleans last season while Drew Brees was out. Now, here's the thing, to connect the dots with Bridgewater. And really, one thing when you connect dots, it helps you to understand why, the why. Well, here's the deal. The offensive coordinator named Joe Brady, he was just hired with this new staff of Carolina. He, was the offensive assistant with the Saints. He was with Teddy Bridgewater on the offense with the Saints. One thing about assistants, the assistant coach is the prime cushion for the second string guy to get along with. The second string guy may not get, the head coach gonna favor his starters, but them assistants, every assistant gonna have a favorite or a plug with this second string. Teddy Bridgewater and this guy, Joe Brady, got along great, obviously, because he made the push. Now he's the offensive coordinator of the Panthers. So that means he knows what type of plays or should know what to incorporate into the system to help maximize Bridgewater's talents. We'll see how that goes during the season. Speaking of now, the Cam Newton statement, guys, in case you missed this, Cam Newton went to social media, pissed off. Here's what he says. Stop with the wordplay.
Yeah, I saw that.
I never asked for it, right? There's no dodging this one. I love the Panthers to death, and I will always love you guys. But please do not try and play me or manipulate the narrative and act like I wanted this in talking about, remember.
Yeah, and because he's so endearing in that community. I don't know if you ever been to Charlotte, Jimmy. He's endeared in that community, and he wanted to make sure the community know that, dude, I didn't ask for this trade. They didn't want it. And guess what? I knew he didn't ask for the trade. But guess what? Fans, you remember the root word for fanatic, fans probably, jumped on. Oh, you ought to see what the fans. Do you hear about what the fans in Boston doing? Man, these folks going crazy. Hold up. Did you know the Buffalo's mayor, African-American man. I couldn't believe that. But he had a press conference like Al Mayer did, have a press conference talking
Oh,
about,
really?
look, no celebrations with 10 or more people because Tom Brady has left our division. Gotta remember, Tom Brady's not in that division no more. Buffalo fans are going crazy because they think they can win now. Jimmy, you know, since 2009, ain't nobody, excuse me, I don't want to say this. Doug, stop your ears up because I don't want Doug to hear this. Since 2009, the only champion of that division has been the Brady-led Patriots. Since 2009, Jimmy. So everybody, the Jets had so much money left over their cap, and Jimmy, the Jets spent all that money. I got some Jet stuff, but it's just unique. But back to Cam. Cam, I'm afraid that the game of musical chairs, Jimmy. It's not but 32 spots. I'm afraid Cam and his little attitude. See the people, Jimmy. You can have all that attitude on the way up, Jimmy, and wear all them dresses and hairdos on the way up, Jimmy. But Jimmy, what if somebody tell Cam, you got to loosen your bridges and cut your hair off, man? Not publicly, but privately. What'd you say about that? Jimmy, think about it. You've been messing with you don't even call the man by his name. You call him Tight Bridges.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And so where would Cam Newton land? As Doug Jones is as posted that the Patriots and the Chargers, have requested his medical records. Yeah. So where would he go? Does he go to New England? Or does he go to the Chargers? Understand, you're not going to turn him down. He's not going to be heavy trash. Somebody's going to pick him up. Cam Newton still has.
I know it. I'm muted. I'm sorry, y'all. Muted. I muted myself because I didn't want y'all to hear something. But that's all. I'm not going over that no more, Jim. What else you got, Jim? Y'all have made me mad.
Well, and once again, we're going to see where Cam Newton ends up, and of course, Tom Brady is expected to sign with Tampa Bay, and and I was looking. Then it brings us over. One thing that made the news on yesterday was, well, since yesterday's show was Michael Irvin this morning on what it was to Get Up, and Michael Irvin's comments about his conversation with DeAndre Hopkins, with D-Hop. Well, and Michael Irvin, once again, he's an OG to a lot of these young players. And so that's how a lot of positions, like a lot of cornerbacks, they respect Michael Irvin. And don't get it twisted, Michael Irvin has at being a professional analyst, with one of the networks, he, as part of his job detail, is to go and keep those candles lit with a lot of the young receivers around the league. So guess what? Michael Irvin says that D-Hop told him that a meeting with Bill O'Brien, during that meeting, it resulted in Bill O'Brien basically telling D-Hop that, and comparing him, saying the last time I had a meeting like this, it was with Aaron Hernandez, and went on to say to basically the GM and the coach of the Texans explain his displeasure of D-Hop bringing his baby's mamas, having them around a little bit too close to the team.
Mamas.
Yeah, baby mamas.
But Jimmy, can I interject right there? Nobody never said nothing about Tom Brady and his baby mamas. Bill O'Brien was up there coaching Tom Brady. Okay, I just want to add that. Okay? All right, keep going. And a lot of people have blended families, Jimmy. But keep going. So now Hopkins made a statement, Jimmy.
And what's the statement say?
I put it in my notes somewhere. Okay, here it is. Okay, DeAndre Hopkins. I got it. Hey, he said about an hour and a half ago, this is being blown way out of proportion. He didn't say it didn't happen. As I've said before, he taking the high road, Jimmy. That's what he's doing. I enjoy it, and I'm proud of my time with the Texans. I have the utmost respect for Bill O'Brien, and that will not change. Now I'm ready for the Cardinals. Classy. What you wanted him to say, Jim?
I mean, that don't move the needle on this conversation and what these accusations
that are out there about because
at all.
They true.
That's what I'm saying. That don't move the needle at all.
But he didn't want to double
he made
down
a statement
on it,
saying
he didn't want Jimmy. That kid is trying to move on, man. He could get on here and bash a head coach. He got a head coach. He got a new head coach he's playing for right now, right? So guess what? People watch what you do. If you bash him, you'll bash me. That dude playing, I would advise him the same way. I would.
I understand. I don't expect and didn't expect him or want him to necessarily bash his former head coach. I'm just saying that statement didn't move the needle at all. That was right on the 50-yard line. That was straight right. It was just like, yeah, man, I'm not focused on that. I'm moving on. Jim, I'm dealing with this. That didn't.
Jim,
now.
You know what he told me? You know what? That statement, that's why I love how you just think different from me. That statement told me, yes, he said it. That's what that statement told me.
Absolutely. Because he didn't say he didn't say it.
There you go.
And remember, Michael Irvin, during his conversation this morning on the Get Up, he said he talked to D-Hop twice since the trade. And the second time, he was like, man, I know you got to give me something. And he dug a little deeper, and he pinched D-Hop a little bit, and D-Hop, as a result, gave him some good nuggets to run with on this thing. But my thing is this. Understand. Remember, I told you guys, and I said it, that's sitting from this perch, from the perch that had nothing to do with no ties with the team, with the Texans. You could tell from looking at the outside of a mask, of a helmet, that D-Hop was not a happy camper. Now, the understanding is totally out. It was not a happy camper. You could tell he frowned so much on the field. Now we see why. He and Bill O'Brien did not get along at all. Yeah. And I got a thing, and you guys connect the dots. Remember now, when that owner was living, McNair, before he died, D-Hop was not, he was how would you call it, a nominal supporter of Colin Kaepernick. since he passed, when McNair passed, remember D-Hop came to the game, to the Texans game this year wearing an I'm with Cap shirt. I don't remember what game that was, Howard. You know what I'm talking about? Remember he had that black shirt.
I don't think. Show me where you're going, because they got Kenny Stills on the team, and they still got him on the team. So show me where you're going.
Understand, Howard, we already went through the notion that just because you don't like them don't mean you would never get them. Remember that. Now.
So why is that important?
Because you can look at the dots. He was the militant ones. Remember, they got rid of. He ain't the only militant.
Kenny Stills were more militant than all of them.
Remember now. What's the lineman name that was a militant, a little bit too militant for their locker room as well, and they got rid of him? What's my man name?
They didn't want to pay him. They just
but that comes with it. Yeah. You didn't want to pay
Jimmy, why would you go get Kenny Stills then?
Listen what I'm saying. Because that's how the game works. You're still going to get one. You're not going to avoid it. Kenny, you're not going to get this one. This one right here has too much control of your locker room. And that's how the game goes. When a guy got that much influence, then you can disrupt a little things. Okay. You know, remember now, that once upon a while, J.J. Watt had all the influence. J.J. Watt got hurt, said to sit still a little bit. He ain't in the locker room as much during that time of rehab. So now somebody else taking the whole of this locker room. So, listen, man, white folk don't like no Negro rumbling stuff like that. You're a problem to them. You're a disruption. So, and that's their way of trying to put you back in what they deem as your place. That's what I look at it.
I could go somewhere with that, but I'm going to leave it alone. I've been preaching. No, I just said I've been preaching that for years.
Dwayne Brown.
But when I say it's I've been preaching it. So why you give them control? So you said white folks don't like black people to have control, but a lot of our black athletes has given white folks control over them. That's the problem I've been having ever since I've been on this show. And when I explain that to y'all act like, but y'all understand it from the white perspective, but somehow y'all can't seem to understand it from the black perspective. It really boggles my mind. And the things we can control, we don't. But we expect to be treated different any other way. It's unbelievable how us as a people think. We worried about Bill O'Brien. Wow. Okay. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me. I hope I'm not on mute. Yeah. Okay.
Well, just think of the last three acquisitions. You started off, I mentioned Dwayne Brown started it off. Then Clowney. Now,
who running the locker room now?
Well, that's the whole thing. You will want Watson to run the locker room. Normally, the quarterback, your franchise guy, is going to, or J.J. Watt can restore some of the electoral power of the locker room, and that's what you would hope. But at the same time, no matter how it goes in the locker room, a lot of guys it's new up in there, and JJ and
man,
that's normally I would think.
This is one of the most dysfunctional. For this to even get out, this has got to be one. And Bill O'Brien has not made a statement. Jerome Allen, what's the guy named Jerome? What's the guy at the Chronicle? Jerome Solomon. He tweeted out. He said, "Bill, you got to address this. Instead of sneak watching on Twitter, you got to address it." Mindy said O'Brien is trying to get fired. I don't know. He just took on another job. Somebody said today, I forgot which one of the guys said, that man must have some pictures on the McNair family. He ain't been around long enough. Rick Smith should have had them same pictures. I wish Rick Smith had them pictures. Jimmy, he's resurfaced. I saw him on NFL Live the other day, the former African-American GM of the Texans. But it's Oh, yeah, we're going to get to Fertitta. Jimmy, you know about the Fertitta did, right? Huh?
With Tillman Fertitta?
Yeah, he cut the employees' benefits at the Post Oak Hotel. And I don't know. Y'all going to get me. I didn't want to go there. Michael, thank you, Michael Anderson. You know what? Let me tell y'all something. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, you know, because I'm going to give y'all, you know how Jimmy said he like to have his flowers? You boom, boom, room. Let me tell y'all something. We talk about y'all all the time, how knowledgeable y'all are. And I mean, as a whole. Now, some of y'all I pray for a little bit more than others. But let me tell y'all something. Like Michael just brought that up. Michael, that's in my notes today. But Jimmy, I know Jimmy probably pulling it up right now. You know, he go get a source. But Jimmy, the reason we're gonna pivot a little bit. The reason that is key is because, wait a minute, the hotel industry and everything is going down. But Jimmy, the NBA has approved the raising of the limit of their line of credit. See, y'all don't realize this stuff is bothering rich people too. Jimmy, the NBA got this line of credit to help teams in distress of $650 per team. Excuse me, $650 million per team. Jimmy, they just upped it to $550 million. So it's $1.2 billion at their disposal if they need help. Tillman Fertitta, hey, the hotel industry, the restaurant industry, that bar, that pool area, everybody used to come over there just to hang out. And one thing I love about the Post Oak, I hate to give them because they don't advertise, but the atmosphere over there, Jimmy, you know how you go to, I put it like this. Try to take your butt down there to the Marriott and go to that Texas pool and you don't have an armband or you're not at that hotel. You're not getting in. Post Oak, you can come at their pool on Sunday, at their pool on Saturday. Sit down, have a drink, and enjoy the atmosphere. And that kind of stuff, hey, y'all, this is our new normal. We can't do that. But, Jimmy, let me show you something. Before we get in I'm going to let you talk. But, Jimmy, I had to show you this because somebody just sent me this. Check this out. Jimmy, they singing and dancing talking about Corona at a club.
What city is that?
I forgot. I didn't get. I don't care.
What state?
I don't care. It's
I
the fact. I don't care what state it is.
I want to know if it's near or if it's in one of those cities that in Houston or in Dallas or in San Antonio or if it's in the United States. You know where is it? That's what I was curious about.
I mean, me personally, I just saw it and I said, you know, I tell you, hey, y'all got to realize this not a contest to who can do what better. I sent Jimmy a picture of me with my gloves on. I went shopping with my gloves on yesterday. He gonna talk about, well, how you get the money out your pocket? Dude, I use a credit card. I use a credit card.
That's a general statement that I made. You were thinking about you protect. You're the boy in the bubble for the masses of America out there. Understand?
No. I don't want to be in the bubble. I just no. Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna accept that. You remember you don't like words. You know my words. I'm not the boy in the bubble. I am a person who cares about infecting other people.
Understand, once again.
And I'm conscious of it.
About money.
I'm trying to be an example.
Alan, I know you don't keep cash in your pocket. I keep a lump. I know that. I'm explaining to you that the people that statement was made for the general public. You thought I was texting you back about the money. Jim. I'm saying I was making it statement because I'm think about this.
Everybody don't have a car. Everybody don't have a car. Everybody don't have a car.
Going through the drive-through. The majority of the people that go through the drive-through at the fast food restaurants, the majority pays with cash.
How you know? I just asked you how you know.
I've read that in a Forbes article before a couple of years back. The vast majority that go through the drive-through paying with cash. I'm not saying that card people don't. I say the majority. Do you not think that at least 51% of the people that go through the drive-through at a fast food restaurant pay with cash? Yes. So that's easy to believe. So my statement is those same people, you're going to tender that cash over to the drive-through attendant. They're going to give you the change with the receipt, and they normally put it inside and hand it to you. That money is an exchange. They're not going to spray Lysol on that money, and you're not spraying Lysol on yours.
Some people are. Some people are spraying their money.
I'm talking about the masses.
I just said some people are spraying their. Jimmy, all you can do is be an example. See, what you don't understand, if one person, guess why I'm doing what I'm doing? Because I saw somebody else doing it. So maybe somebody might copy. That's all I'm saying. Maybe somebody might copy because guess what? I saw somebody else doing it. Think about it. The lady who saw me get something and open the door, she saw me do that. What if I affected her? That's all I'm saying. I know the masses are ignorant. I'm not saying that. But what about the people who could be an example to the people that just don't know? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Somebody got to be example. Guess what? Everything that I know, I learned from somebody. Everything. I didn't wake up as a baby knowing what I know now. I learned. I saw. I copied some things and I didn't copy some things. So all I'm saying, if you're an example, what if that lady went and told her husband, her son, her nephews, hey, y'all, we got the, you know what? It's an African-American. She probably called me something else, but it's an African-American. Just what if? I don't know. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you everybody gonna do everything right. No. But if the conscious people start doing it, maybe letting these other people into doing it or inspire them into doing it. That's all. Because this stuff is real. Kevin Durant, 4 other guys on the team got it. So the Lakers had played them, so they got to take a test. So if LeBron and Anthony Davis is out for a long time, let me tell y'all something. The league will not start. That's all I'm saying.
So once again, my question is, it still stands every day until proven otherwise. How do we know that the Kevin Durant had not possessed that virus before the outbreak? You just
when you know better, you do better.
I'm just saying. So we're making it seem like, oh, he got infected from this guy.
Now we know
that may not be true. We might already have different levels of it. Virtually everybody could have different levels.
So they trying to isolate it, Jimmy. They trying to flatten it. We know people got it, Jim. We know people got it. Let me repeat this. We know people got it. We know. I'm gonna repeat again. We know people got it. What we don't know is how widespread of it. We don't know if I got it, I haven't took the test. You haven't took the test.
What if Kevin Durant had it 2 years ago? That's my.
Well, if he could have, but we still trying to isolate it now. We can't worry about what happened 2 years ago. Unless your name is what that boy, Marty McFly, and you can get the Back to the Future. We can't go back. All they can do is say, let's isolate this thing. Because we've seen where isolation stops the growth of it. It's kind of simple to me, but it's too simple for some people to comprehend.
Alan, do you ever occur to you that some people just don't give a damn that much of a damn? And there's a lot of people like that in society.
I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you why it occurred to me. Guess what? I took the time out to put this on here. So you talking to the choir. I found this and put it on the screen. I know people don't give a damn.
Lots of people.
I'm finna repeat. I know. So you don't have to bring that back up.
To each his own.
I know, but if each his own is affecting you, change. It's Jimmy. Jimmy, it's not okay to just say, "I got this shit. I'm gonna give it to everybody."
No, but
I don't think that's okay.
That's a whole different. That's another whole different topic. That part. I'm talking about the factor of you have the fear of the unknown. And then there's another sector of people who are unfeared about it. That's the only.
But
that's
Jimmy, a lot of people are stupid and ignorant. Jimmy, I just told you yesterday, you can be the smartest person in the room, full of stupid ass people. You can always be. Get the hell out of there, because they ain't gonna learn. Some people ain't gonna learn no matter what you teach them. You gonna be the only liability in that room with them stupid ass people. So get out of that room. I try to get myself out the room with them people. So guess what? I'm isolating myself. I told somebody the other day, I talk to myself all the time. Y'all know why? Because I like talking to intelligent people. That's why I always talk to myself. Always talk to myself. Guess what? Myself ain't gonna lie to me. The self ain't gonna lie to me. So all I'm saying, I understand, Jimmy. You can feel the way you want to. You think the way you want to. I just think different. I just think different. I think different. I'm watching how reckless these people are. I mean, at least slow down. Guess what? People still smoking crack. It's the craziest stuff in the world. I know some people right now, the doctor told them, man, you keep drinking, your ass gonna die. Guess what they doing? Guess what they doing? The Surgeon General put on the side of a cigarette, if you smoke these, you can die. Guess what people still doing? So Robert Hatter understand people ignorant. But I have a platform. I'm just going to be an example. That's all I'm trying to be. We got enough stupid people in the world. I'm trying to find the people that's on the fence. Well, do I want to be stupid? I want to be intelligent. Well, okay, I see an intelligent example. I'm going to follow that one. I'm not going to follow these little kids who just, wait a minute, I'm not going to follow them. I'm not going to follow them. That's all. What else we got?
You can, just because a person, if they in a mode where they're not in fear, don't necessarily mean that they're stupid. If they're not in fear, that's a whole another category of people. If you're being ignorant to it, that's not the point. When you know, for example, I know that I got about 6 of these around, and I'm hitting during the show today. I might hit it 4 or 5 times, and I ain't nobody next to me. Still, I'm hitting it. At the same, I got one in the car. I got a mask in the car. In both cars, a mask. I went and bought a box from the feed store when I got the puppy food the other day.
What does the mask do?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's a black folk like accessories. It's an accessory to make it looks like you doing the part. Nothing. So my point is, I'm doing that. But I already had, I told you guys,
everybody pump the brakes,
everybody
stop
had
it.
the
I can't take
sanitizer. Before this,
but we not.
I already had,
Jimmy.
so I'm talking about.
Wait, we going around. What's the next topic?
My point is, I still went to 2 different parties in the past 4 days. In that party, they had some sanitizer stuff. At the one on Sunday, I went to. We showed you guys a sanitary station. I went to another one yesterday. Because that's what the thing now. A lot of people just doing little house gatherings, keeping it small, and might have been around 10 people there. But in that, it's still everybody wasn't in respect of the 6-foot rule. Everybody in that damn show, most of them knew each other.
But all you can do is do what you do. That's the key.
But at that point, my point is, I didn't care. That's what I'm explaining to you. I'm still conscious.
Okay.
That don't make me stupid. I didn't care, and I don't care.
Guess what, y'all?
I'm going to insert myself into situations. Whereas, in other words, if I want to go to the grocery store, then I know what I'm about to go and be around when I'm standing in line. There's no grocery store you're going to go in without standing in line. So what are you going to do while you're standing in line? Mm-hmm. How can you possibly practice the 6-foot rule in line at the grocery store, at Fiesta, or wherever you guys go?
Yes, you can. ACB. Yes, you can if you have patience. I'm going to tell you, Jimmy, people, I sit here and because I was at the store yesterday. If you have patience, you can. Because all the stores are not crowded. I saw this piece, and I played it the other day, but I want to play it again. This Dr. Graham Medley, he's the professor of infectious disease modeling. And this what got to me right here.
So most people have a fear of acquiring the virus. I think a good way of doing it is to imagine that you do have the virus, and change your behaviour so that you're not transmitting it. Don't think about changing your behaviour so you won't get it. Think about changing your behaviour so you don't give it to somebody else.
That's the key to what I'm thinking about. I'm not trying, Jimmy, what you ain't understand. I'm just trying to be example. I'm worried about what if I'm carrying the disease and I'm imagining now, I don't want to give it to nobody else. That's how I'm thinking. If I got it, I got it. What can I do? I'm not Kevin Durant. What can I do? But I don't want to give it to nobody else. That's my mindset. But I'm going to pivot to this a minute. Melvin Dews just sent me something. He said he got a call from an event planner yesterday in Houston about running a grassroots tournament this weekend. He said, hold on, Jimmy, hold on. He said, Melvin, I'm sorry if I told it on you. You didn't say anonymous on this one, Melvin, so I'm sorry. He said a big tourney was canceled and they wanted to help teams make through these times by having a tournament. LOL, LOL. I guess they got to eat from, I guess, the plate that the spring icebreaker left. All that stuff I've been talking about. What? So, Jimmy, this not stupid. This not ignorant. What is this? Since you seem to have an answer, what do you call that?
What part of it? You talking about?
Hold on, let me read it again. I got a call from an event planner yesterday in Houston about running a grassroots tournament this weekend in Houston. He said a big tournament was canceled, and they wanted to help teams make it through these these times by having a tournament. LOL, LOL, laugh out loud. I guess they trying to eat from the plate that the South, spring icebreaker left. That's the mentality that I'm talking about right there. We're going to have a tournament anyway. What you said? some people just don't give a. I mean, I hope he didn't make this up.
Absolutely. I mean, that's not made up. I can understand that. Just that, and that was a turn. Hold on, there were 2 tournaments in Houston at least that took place just this past weekend. 2 youth grassroots basketball tournaments. So if they took place last weekend, know what those guys are probably saying? Well, hell, everything went all right. Nobody had no problems. Kids, nobody left out of there. Looked like no reports back from any of the kids. Not to say that they went and got tested at the same time.
Thank you.
But they're going to use that and say, well, let's push forward.
Jimmy.
And that's what some people gonna try to do.
Jimmy. But if they watch this show, Robert Hatter told them, the Surgeon General said 97% of the people that have symptoms are tested negative.
Once again, at one point it's going to saturate. There's a lot of people that don't care. And for those who don't care, then all you can do, those ain't the people that fits into the category of don't caring. So those ain't the people that you said that you're trying to reach. You're trying to reach those you say in the 50-yard line and above, in good field position to reach them and convert them on over.
I'm trying to be an example.
And a while ago, but you said the ones that don't
on the fence, they go, yeah.
These ain't nowhere near the fence.
Well, we ain't talking about you. Constantly talking about them. What if the people wait a minute. What if the people that were conscious? We wouldn't go to the parties when they had Google Chrome just came out with a method for y'all. But I just want to be with my friends. Okay, we just want to watch Netflix. Google Chrome, if you missed the beginning of the show, I know people come on late. I got to make an announcement too, Jimmy, and I was waiting for this time of the show. But Google Chrome, y'all, let me, I got to go back to it. Google Chrome said, boy, I love this kind of stuff. They said, hold up, Jimmy, I went to the wrong notes. That's okay. I got it. Google Chrome said, y'all, I got to share this with y'all. They were talking about, they came up with this thing where you can watch Netflix with your friends around the country. You can pause and play, and all of y'all can be watching it and commenting on the show at the same time. They trying to show you can practice your social distancing. I know it's hard for y'all to sit up there with them same old folks all the time. I know it's hard. But yes, it was an earthquake in Utah. Boy, I told y'all this one leap year, Jimmy, that we wish had a leaped over us. But people are trying to come up with things that make this, because Jimmy, like I said, it's going to get worse. And I told you, I'm trying to, hear my PSA, Jimmy. Here it is right here. If you want to still have movie night with your friends without risking the COVID virus, Chrome has an extension called Netflix Party that allows you to simultaneously stream Netflix with your friends. It has a chat window, a pause, play for everyone in the group so y'all can stay synced up. It might not be enough because you might want to be in the club. And I understand. I ain't mad at y'all. I'm just saying, man, I know people overseas that are locked up in their homes. They can't come out. That's the only place I'm coming at, Jimmy. They can't come out. Until the unforeseeable future. And he told me, Robert, if y'all don't stop doing what y'all doing, oh, no, I'm not. If y'all don't stop doing what y'all doing, it's gonna get this bad. So that's all I can say, Jim. Hey, that's all I can say about that one. But this tournament thing just blew me away. Melvin Dukes, that's unbelievable.
More power to them. At the same time, somebody asked, all facilities are supposed to be closed. No, all facilities aren't closed. They recommending from the in various cities in various states have their own how would you say it site-based management. And in Houston, they're recommending no large gatherings. It's went down to over 10 people now. So how would you get a basketball game going on, a full court game? It would take 12 people just to manufacture that.
Jim, you left out one little piece. 10 people practicing social distance. So you can't guard nobody in your 10 on 10. You can't. You just can run up and down and shoot. So 10 people practicing social distances. This thing is serious. I mean, if I wasn't talking to somebody who's going through that stuff, maybe I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
But I mean, but still, at the same breath, you're okay. Transfer it over to religion. Mm-hmm. There are people out there on every block that when you just fill the blanks, however you just described the seriousness of COVID-19. There are lots of people out there will eclipse that comment with their religion towards you being a non-believer in their religion and letting you know just how serious it is in their eyes. If you don't do this, then you're going to go to hell, or if you're not going to be saved. If you don't believe and you don't go and you don't do, it's simple.
I'm not going to comment on that one. I'm going to let you have that one yourself.
So there are people that say that's like that. If you don't do this, if you don't believe, if you don't go and somehow find something spiritually.
If you don't stop drinking, you're going to die. Yes. If you don't stop smoking, you're going to die.
Whatever a person believes.
I just said that.
Well, and if you translate it over to the Muslim, they'll say, well, hell, if you eat pork, if you keep eating pork, and if you don't stop it, then this will happen to you.
Jim? Hey,
so the thing is, for some people,
okay, I'm tired of it. Okay. You can keep giving people excuses. Okay, I'm good.
So that's the side of the fence I'm on with it. Live your life.
I know where you at.
If you care, then do something. If you don't care, then stay.
Guess what? Stay over there with that. That's why I'm glad we got this set up. Hey, and Jimmy, I've been watching all the shows. Our setup is a lot better than TV. I don't know what I promise they need to call me. Wagyu look like he in the basement somewhere. You better call on Rob. Huh?
Now they need to work on their fade.
Yeah, they don't. Hey, we got the Nike background behind us, but I mean it's serious. But let's talk about. Look, I know I got something good to talk about today, and we can still talk about COVID. But I'm not trying to change nobody's behavior. I'm done with you behavior people, cause Jimmy just said you it's Women Rock Win. Jimmy, let me tell you something. First of all, let me make my announcement. Yesterday, I prematurely jumped the gun. I got information, like they do on TV. I vetted the information, and I said that Ronnie Courtney has accepted the job at Baytown Sterling. He hadn't accepted the job yet. Okay. That is not, it was... people been talking. It's another school been trying to get him to. I mean, it's the fate. Somebody texted me and I told them, is this true? They said yes. Somebody very, very close. But guess what? I jumped the gun and I'll take responsibility for jumping the gun a little bit. So, because it's a process that has to happen. And guess what? The process has not fully bloomed yet. So, that's it. That's all. I just wanted to share that with y'all. But it's Women Rock Wednesday, Jimmy. And I got an interesting topic to talk about one of the most powerful women that y'all never probably heard of. I don't know if you met her yet, Jimmy, in basketball, in NBA basketball. And her name is Krista Chin. You ever met Krista, Jimmy?
Who?
Krista Chin. Krista Chin. African American woman. Y'all can Google her. Women, young men, anybody. Chrysa. Chin. Krista Chin. I met this lady almost 30 years ago. When Penny got drafted into the NBA, she worked for David Stern's office, and she's had a lot of jobs. She had been promoted to vice president over play. But the reason I'm talking about her today, and at one point, I didn't read this article, Leah, and everybody. There's this Women Rock Wednesday. This a woman that really rocks. If you talk to any NBA mom or any friend of an NBA player, any NBA player, he's gonna tell you about Krista Chin. One of the kids says she's like my second mom in the NBA, and they call her Mama Chin. I'm gonna give you some. At the summer league game, look at Michael Anderson. They love her. Jimmy. If you ever meet her, Jimmy, I'm gonna show you how cool she is. She worked for the NBA Players Association now. She used to work for the NBA, so she'd have been back and forth on both sides. But she was at the event in Dallas, Jimmy, the EYBL event. This how cool she is. She was at the EYBL event in Dallas. Guess what? Getting to meet the moms of the elite players. Y'all follow me? But I'm gonna show you how important she is. Andre Drummond at the Summer League. Andre Drummond shouted out to a woman who he said "Mama" to a woman who was not his mom. She was sitting courtside at the Las Vegas Cox Pavilion and waiting for the second half of the Detroit Pistons Summer League game to begin. He was talking to Krista Chin. But this is one powerful, it's just so many things about it. Y'all got to read up on her. But she talked to the players about everything. Jimmy, your boy, you remember Keon Dooling? You remember Keon Dooling, right? When he first came in the league, I'll put it like this. If you ever watched the NFL draft before, if you ever watched it, she was always the little light-skinned lady that get the guys the hat. They call her the hat lady. If you go back and watch it, because we ain't got no new draft to watch, go back and watch the old NFL draft, all the NFL. This the lady who comes and give you the hat. And Jaylen Brown, it just every kid says she like a second mom. I never forget, we in New Orleans, me and a few of the Nike executives were together, and she said, "Wow, I love seeing this kind of stuff together. I love seeing you guys together." I mean, unbelievable. Leah, I'm telling y'all, on Women Rock Wednesday, I am gonna get her on this show at some point. Great lady, but moms, if your kid might go to the NBA, this gonna be his first line. And Jimmy, I'm gonna show you how dedicated she is to her job. She tell the players, "I go to sleep at 2 a.m. in the morning. But if you got an emergency, you can always call me. I sleep with my phone on, on loud." Jimmy, she said one kid tried her. He called it at 4. And he was with a group of other players. And she answered it. And guess what the player said in the phone? After she heard him talking. "Yeah, man, she answered the phone." That's the kind of commitment mamas. And Jimmy, hold on. This the lady who the guys come to first when they want to change agents, when they want to change financial advisors. She is the first line, and she never tells Jimmy, nobody else's business. Been around that lady. She never, ever, when her and I on the phone, we talking about the business at hand. She never been a person to talk about other people. She talk about issues and visions. Great woman. She don't even know I'm talking about her today, but I saw this piece. You can find it, I think, in Bleacher Report. Great article about her, written by Yaron Weissman. Great article. So all the mamas who got inspiring kids, you know somebody. When you see an NBA player, ask about Krista Chen. So what else you got, Jimmy? I had to get that out. It's Women Rock Wednesday.
Man, more power to her and all the other ladies, I guess, out there. I mean, that's good thing.
Great thing. Great
I'm
woman.
looking, now, of course, all eyes are turning towards the March 31st HBO special, The Scheme with Christian Dawkins. He was one of the guys, one of the common denominators in the federal recruiting trial that resulted in convictions in 2 different trials. Not the academic one, not to be confused. Christian Dawkins is the young former runner. And so he's cashing out with HBO film. And the film they sent out, and normally 4 movies of such come out, in order to get some traction in the media, they will send or invite the media to come and watch screenings. But in this case, in respect to coronavirus, they had to ship the films to ESPN and a couple of other networks so that they can get an advanced screening. And that way it can give them something to talk about and market it before. And Christian Dawkins is going to be interesting because I'm pretty certain that virtually everybody in the basketball community is probably going to watch this this show. It's going to come on, I think, 8 p.m. March 31st on HBO. It's going to be very, very highly watched. You can rest assured on that. And it's going to be interesting also because this off season is going to provide an opportunity, as it is for a lot of coaches, this virus concerns will save the jobs of a lot of college coaches, and some have already gotten fired, which one being up in UIC, and that's where the staff, where T. Harvey was at. So, hate to see that happen because these guys had made it to the championship of their conference tournament. They made it to the championship, and they're gone. Byron Rim is out at IUPUI as the interim tag. That's what he was playing up under. So these are coaches that normally they would be able to land on their feet during the Final Four or during the live period in April. Both of those are scrapped. And, it's going to be just like the transfer portal. There are coaches out there that's looking for gigs. I talked to one of my guys that worked at the NCAA on yesterday, and I didn't realize he had left. And he's trying to get back into college coaching. He was like, man, if something bite down there in Houston, let me know. Got to get back into coaching. He left the NCAA because I had to talk to them and confirm that the legalities of yesterday, in case you missed it, about the spring icebreaker, I announced that next year in 2021, March 19th through the 21st, are the dates of 2021 for our 20th year anniversary of the spring icebreaker. Well, guess what? That event we're planning to give out at least $3,000 to the winning
Oh
team.
man, you can't be going down. You said 5,000 yesterday.
Well, I got a plan for that. How about you donate the other 2 and make it 5 then? Now, or forever hold your peace.
Okay. All right.
Because already
I'm trying to win the money, Jimmy. I'm gonna spend 2,000 trying to get my team together.
I don't have nothing to do with that.
I got something to do with it. You said 5,000. I'm gonna get a sponsor. Hold up.
3 to 5.
I'm gonna get. No, you said 5 G's.
First statement.
I got it on tape.
5,000. Then I came back 6 more times and said 3 to 5.
I didn't hear them time. Just like you don't hear me.
Now I'm asking you like a Southern Baptist pastor. You'll feel welcome to add the 2,000 to make it 5.
All right. But
otherwise, don't.
Hey, Jimmy.
Otherwise, you speaking on my money. I don't speak on your money.
You know what? You trying to spend mine. You said 5,000. I'll get you a sponsor. I got you.
What does that have to do with you?
I got you. So you just had a slip of the tongue.
That wasn't a slip of the tongue. I said 5 at first, and I changed it to 3 to 5.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, I'm not getting no team together.
What you're doing right now, that's called spinning. You're spinning from the fact that the 3,000 would be the most ever given to any team in the history of grassroots basketball.
I'm not spinning. Guess what I'm doing?
You're taking away from that.
I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, I'm taking away because guess what? 5,000 just sounded so much better.
No. I'm not committing to that. I'm not ruling out 5.
Guess what?
I may give out 5.
I'm not gonna move for no 3,000. I would have moved for.
Go play for a trophy and some medals that cost $1.50. Take your ass down the road, play for a medal. I'm giving out $3 grand, and a lot of teams love that. They already said count us in. So that's all. It's just that simple. So that's the thing. Like I say, he can afford it. Every event operator out there can afford it. That's my point. That's what I'm making the point on with giving out the $3 grand. So everybody that does a tournament don't have to give no damn trophies out no more. John Lucas gives out $500 to his team to every division, which is cool. He can afford it. He does it, and guess what? Teams come from all over the country to get that bread. This situation is a little bit different because in that, you pay the entry fee for those tournaments $500.
I love
you
this show.
Money back. This entry fee ain't gonna be $3,000. It ain't gonna be $5,000. The entry fee ain't gonna be no more than $500. So that means you get a 10 times, 8 to 10 times in return, or 9 to 10 times return on your investment. Well, I said it right. 8, 7, 6. Yeah.
I know I ain't gonna get no team together no more. I changed my mind. I changed my mind.
Adam,
I didn't change my mind. Don't I have a right? Hold up. When the facts change, I'm changing.
Well, thanks, Gary. We gave $750 this year, and so Luke went up $750. More people gonna come and eat. That's a great thing.
I like that, but it ain't moving me. I like that though. It gonna move some people. I ain't got no team no way, but for that $5 grand, I was gonna get me a team.
Adam, that's I understand what you're study trying to do. What you're study doing is, once again, you're taking away from the magnitude of a great idea, and you're saying because it ain't $5,000, it's only $3,000. That the idea ain't that great, and it's worth people.
That is not what I said. I said don't move me. You can take, dude. I can't sit up here every day and monitor what I say. I can't do it. Can't do it. Come on, man. Can't do it.
Also, what I'm doing with the icebreaker, another thing, every out-of-town media, I got a round-trip ticket, plane ticket for you in and out of Houston. So that's undone. Now, once again, for an independent event, Spring Icebreaker has 0 sponsors, guys. Had no sponsors. None this year. And once again, yeah, I'm talking my smack and putting my money where my mouth is. So that means why the next guy can't do it. So that means if you're competing with me, then you got to meet me or beat me of what I'm providing. Once again, if you're in the media, you cover boys basketball, and if a team from your city or your area is coming to the Spring Icebreaker in 2021, you send an email, and I'll give you the details because it has to be at least 120 days in advance by November the 1st. The email comes for November the 1st, you will get a full round trip ticket to Houston for the Spring Icebreaker. That's the truth. Who else is doing that? No, I say for November, because that means now I ain't using the team money to do that. Teams ain't gonna start paying their money until January, February. That means that's coming out of my pocket to make you guys, to make it work. So that's the show. That's the thing.
Boy, y'all retarded. Hold up, what else we got?
So Spring Icebreaker gonna be popping in 2021. Meanwhile, Stephen Wood say, Hicks, you want to change the game, all spectators get in free. That wouldn't change the game because I could do that. I just up the ante on the team free.
Come on, Stephen Woods. Now, it's still a business. Hey.
That's not changing the game.
Hold up. Let me tell you something. I'm going to answer a question, Jimmy. We're going to pivot from that. Michael Anderson said, Robert Hatter, why hasn't Watson come out in defense of D-Hop being traded? I know his deal is up next season, but Joe Burrow's basically made the Broncos a franchise and A.J. Green. Speak on it. Let me tell you something. I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to, because this Boo Boom Room these people are just so astute. What I would like for y'all to do is go watch The Shop when DeAndre Hopkins on there. No, I'm sorry. Go watch, it's on YouTube, called the Black Quarterback with Jason Reed. They talking to the black quarterback, I think DeAndre and Deshaun Watson, he said, it's just certain things I'm not going to talk about. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about no politics. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about, that kid said he took that stance on, I forgot that it's called the Year of the Black Quarterback. Just Google that, and you'll have a better understanding. Because I don't know this. I don't know this kid. You know, I don't really know him. Matter of fact, I've been in a place where he was, but I've never met him. I don't know, but that particular, he just saying, if you expect for me to kneel, you expect for me. This is what I got out of it. To support Colin Kaepernick, I'm not doing it. I'm not into politics. I'm just here to play football. That's his mantra from what I saw on the YouTube special. The kid might be different, but it is very odd that he have not, he tweeted now saying how much he appreciated DeAndre Hopkins. But Jimmy, he didn't say that, man. He didn't say nothing.
Well, understand one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson is up for a contract.
Okay.
He's expected to get it. He was expected to get it this year. Deshaun Watson and Watkins, if you mentioned Jerome Solomon earlier, he wrote a long piece on this very topic in today's Houston Chronicle. So look on the front page of the sports section, today's Chronicle, Jerome Solomon penned an article and explained, and I'll give you guys a quote, an excerpt from that article about that. He says, and Watson is due a humongous payday. It should come in the next few months. He absolutely will not demand a trade. Not only does Watson like playing for O'Brien, in the NFL, the quiet bird gets the worm. So you let that soak in. And so Watson, like, let me get my bag.
And guess what? I don't blame him. But the question was, why didn't he speak out for the?
Well, he sent a tweet out, and remember, he sent a tweet out, basically saying this is crazy, to that magnitude.
I didn't see this crazy. I didn't see that part. How do you say?
I can quote you
Mm-hmm.
the exact
Mm-hmm.
what the tweet exact said, because at the beginning of Jerome's article, he goes and he tells you and he quotes Hopkins. And I'm gonna look right now. He says, all Watson could do was log on social media and echo the sentiment of almost every Texan fan in the immediate aftermath of the Hopkins trade. He said, "Man, this is crazy." That's quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knew what he was talking about right after the deal was announced. So that's what you got from Watson. I don't know if it was on which social media platform, but Solomon quotes Deshaun Watson, those were very words. Man, this is crazy. And so he didn't
But
go
he didn't
any
address nothing. He just says crazy.
that's the far as he went with
Yeah,
it.
it's fun.
So that meant,
He was
but at the
quiet.
same time,
He was a quiet bird because he wanted the worm.
he gonna get
And
the
I'm
worm.
not mad at him. I'm not mad because in this business, man, this stuff is happening. And you're black. If you was Tom Brady, hold up. Do y'all understand that Tom Brady didn't get a contract? Do y'all know what happened? Hold up. Do y'all know what happened at Tampa Bay yesterday when it was rumored that Tom Brady was coming there? Do you know what happened, Jimmy? It's a fan told ESPN that 6,792 people was in front of him to get season tickets. First of all, you know what I thought about? Where they practicing social distancing. First thing I thought about, where they practice. 6,000. He ain't signed yet, Jimmy. By the time we get off this show, he might be. So y'all let us know if he signed. They working over the contract detail. Almost 7,000 people lined up to get season tickets. And guess what? And if he can get cast off and they didn't supply to his demands, this young kid doing right. Sit down, chill out, get your bread, then talk. Get your bread, then talk. Put yourself in a position of power. That's why people talk. See, that's why I don't understand this stuff with Dak. Dak Prescott. He told everybody, I'm standing up. I'm not doing what Colin said. I'm doing what Jerry says. And guess what? And Jimmy, I'm thinking about something. It's a long time to get that deal done. They've been working on this deal for a year and a half. Just maybe, Michael Anderson, that might need new representation. Because, Jimmy, the art of negotiation is you give some, I give some. If you're going to give me these 5 years, you got to give me this. I want 4 years. What you going to give me for this extra year? That's how they've been a year and a half and still ain't got this thing right. Something wrong with that. But Michael Anderson, you say it appears to me he has no loyalty. The dude made him balling out. Oh, he talking. Oh, see, that's why I love about this show. You can always have different opinions. It don't mean your opinion wrong. Don't mean mine. It's all right. But Michael just said something. Hold up, Mike. Jimmy said Jimmy said Jerome Solomon said the quiet bird get the worm. Okay? It appears to me, hold on, Michael said, I'm going to put it on the screen for you. It appears to me he has no loyalty. This dude made him belling him out of impossible third downs. He wouldn't even be up for the great payday. What y'all think about that, Jeremy Davis? What you think about that, Jeremy Davis, over there on YouTube? Tell me what you think, and I'm going to put it up there. Then Odyssey come back and said the Texans don't give up. Odyssey, come on, Odyssey. Us don't give a damn about these little fans talking about they done with the Texans. Reality, they still going to get the money from the stadium is full. And guess what? And maybe they don't. Jimmy, would you answer Leah? You see what Leah just said? Leah.
This is Women Rock Wednesday. Anyone seen the Women on Troy featuring Tia Shoes, Cynthia Cooper Dyke? No, I haven't watched it yet. And
but
so I got
I've
right
talked
now.
About it.
Right now, I'm catching up on For Life. That's what I'm catching up on now. So once I get through binging on that and catch up, I think it's only about 6 shows in. That's the new series that's produced by 50 Cent, and it's on the ABC network. It's pretty doggone good, pretty cool. So I've been watching that.
For Life, the guy who got out of prison and trying to represent people.
Well, he's not out in the show now. He's doing it.
Yeah, but he flashed back.
Got law degree.
Yes, in prison.
That's
okay. Well, yeah, I know you. Yeah, you got to watch that one. But maybe I should have answered it. I talked about this on the show. I think it was last Wednesday, and Jimmy didn't know nothing about it, so he didn't say nothing about it. I didn't want to be talking about it, but I was renewing how important women basketball was to the everyday fan like me, and it's not as important to me anymore, Leah. And because I don't have those particular stars like I had. Leah, I even told a story. I didn't realize Coop, and I knew Coop went to USC, but I didn't know all of them bad girls was on the same team. They had 5 killers on that team. Paula and Pam and Paula McGee, Yavelle McGee's mom and auntie, Cynthia Cooper, and Cheryl Miller as a freshman. And you know what's so unique, Leah? I did not realize Cynthia Cooper was from Watts. They used to say, "Don't mess with Cynthia Cooper, man. She from Watts." But I think it's a great, great show. I think it showed how the black women transform and kind of start not being recognized more in women's college basketball, and the transformation of women playing half court basketball to full court basketball. Ann Myers being one of the only women to be first woman to be invited to the NBA camp. I mean, it's just unbelievable documentary, The Women of Troy. But I briefly talked about it last week, but Cheryl Miller doesn't get hurt. Yes, Cheryl Miller. Yes, if Cheryl Miller don't get hurt, thank you, Trey Phillips. She might be one of the greatest women basketball players. Man, Cheryl Miller used to kill dudes. Cynthia Cooper. These the only 2 girls I ever seen used to go at dudes like they was dudes.
Now, I mean, that one back in those days, in the 80s, the female basketball scene. I understand we've had several McDonald's All-Americans in the 2000s since the turn of the millennium. I understand that, yes, but talking about the how would you say it? The core, with the real grassroots of the city, not grassroots basketball, but the Fundy Recreation Center, the women's basketball presence in that facility was epic back in those 80s. You had girls like understand Monica Lamb and Donna Roper, and what's the young girl? I mean, you had a lot of the girl. I mean, it was awesome down there. You had girls. I mean, that really got it in, and well, I'm talking about days before. Like I said, these days then with Sherman with the days during when they were in college were the days before the WNBA, kind of helped spiral it. So back in those days, that means like the Houston's women basketball, the females still came out and played. That's no. You got to realize it's sometimes the spelling of that word, he might have been playing on something else. Remember now, think about Rita Kaplan, how he spelt it. And I remember back in the days you mentioned the USC team, then Louisiana Tech had Kim Mulkey back then. That was a young girl from Houston that went to Louisiana Tech and started. She started back in those days, in those Kim Mulkey days. Her name was Deborah White. Deborah White went to Houston Austin High School. She played with the dudes. Deborah White was no Deborah White, man. The closest thing that I've seen to Deborah White and this little girl may be better than Deborah White. But Deborah White was, you understand, back then the girls played along with guys at the Fundy. So that the street cred was more back then. That's one of the things that a lot of people that I'm trying to get to, as far as, because the Fundy Recreation Center was the melting pot. It was unisex.
I've never seen no women. I'm just going by
in Houston. You weren't in Houston at that time.
I was there in 80, Jimmy. I came 82. My brother's 82. I came.
Well, I mean, but you wasn't.
I wasn't. Yeah, I was a youngster. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about
it. Them girls was balling, and a lot of those girls got a chance to go and convert their careers and go to the NBA. A lot of them got to go played overseas already from back in those days. But Deborah White.
We were talking about the women of Troy, the HBO special. When they bring out a women of Fundy, then we're talking about. I know, yeah, but the women of Troy, because but I understand you giving your perspective of the women. But the women of Troy, it was just Jimmy. They knocked down the mighty Kim Mulkey. I remember Kim Mulkey. She used to be killing. But these girls right here, and Jimmy, they came out of the national championship nervous. Cynthia Cooper, they passing the ball, she dribbling out of bounds and all that kind of stuff. Cheryl Cooper went that, Cheryl Miller went in there and said, hey, man, let's play like we play. Let's play fast. Forget all that slow. Let's play fast. And they went, it was unbelievable that I am glad, because it's a lot of that stuff I did not know. I didn't know it was some friction, Leah, between Cheryl and Cheryl and Cynthia.
Oh, absolutely.
And then on the recruitment of Cheryl Miller, them twins said, look here, you going to either play against us, you go to UCLA because your brother went over there. You can either play with us or play against us. Cheryl said, I think I'd rather play with you. So, that's a great topic. Yeah, we got to get some of these women on this show. I got to figure it out, but we're gonna have to get some of these powerful women like Krista Chin. Because let me tell you something, Jimmy. They got an article out, Jimmy. Since we still on women, we're gonna be on women all day. They got an article out called in ESPNW calling the trailblazing NBA women coaches. Leah, that's a great article by Charlotte Gibson. And he's just talking about all the women, Becky Hammon, in basketball. I'm going down. Jeannie Bouchette with the Dallas Mavericks. Becky Hammond is with the Spurs. I'm still going down. Karen Stack. Boy, I'm glad Jimmy didn't have to do this name. Umloff. She with the Chicago Bulls, Jimmy. I'm just calling out the women. Natalie Nakasi. She with the Los Angeles Clippers. Guess what? I'm going to call and get some insight on her because one of the coaches on the Clippers team, I know, well, a couple of them I know real well. Christy Tolliver. She with the Washington Wizards. Just telling you, these some great women. Lindsay Gottlieb. She with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think, that was the lady at Cal Berkeley. She coached at the same time Chris Walker was out at Cal Berkeley, Jimmy. I'm just going down. It's a great article. It's in ESPN Women. Now, ESPN Women, Lindsey Harding. She with the Sacramento Kings. Hold up. Niele Ivey with the Memphis Grizzlies. Girl, I ain't never see you when I was down there. Niele Ivey. Brittany Donaldson. She's with the Toronto Raptors. These all women, young women. You can coach in the NBA. Hold on. Teresa Weatherspoon. She's with the New Orleans Pelicans. Jimmy, and she's also what? Hall of Famer this last year. So those are some of the women in this article. Great article to read. It gives you an insight on each of the women and their plight. And so guess what? Women, we were talking about women. A lot of men coaching women basketball. Jimmy, powerful women coaching men basketball right now. Just thought I'd see. They didn't have Pokey in this article, Kevin Freightman. She didn't make the article. That's why I didn't call her name. I was calling out people in the article. Jimmy, Lindsey Harden went to Cy-Fair. I didn't know that. Chuck McCown said Lindsey Harden went to Cy-Fair. Wow. It's about time. Basketball is basketball. And you know what? Me personally, I never forget this. Don't y'all tell Keith White this. Long time ago, Keith White, my son worked out with Keith White and his wife, right? When my son left the workout, guess what he came home and told me? I understood what the lady was saying more than Coach White, Dad. She was explaining it a lot better. And women always, man, women see stuff that we don't see. Good or bad, because they can see some bad stuff too. So I take my hat off to all women. Y'all know how I advocate for this show. And today, my Women Rock Wednesday starting 5, I'm not going to put them on the screen. I'm going to talk about them. Angie Holcomb, Lori Dotson, Sadea Williams, Mindy Collins, Anissa Veal. But guess what? All the women on this platform, we salute you. That's why we're going to have a day. Some guys be talking about, man, I'm talking about the women. Man, let me tell you something. We wouldn't be here without a woman. So shout out to everything that the women are doing in any industry. And Jimmy, I'd like to ask you, how many women? You're an event operator now. I saw that on. Hey man, you stay off Twitter, man, talking crazy people too. I saw how many women in this industry are in this industry that's event operators that you know of. What's up, Tony Wash?
Well, I mean, on the girls' side, there's a few of them. I mean, but in Texas, Cynthia Guillory. Okay. She's an African American based in the DFW area, and she does a lot of the female events on that side of the fence. A lot of the guys in Houston, in the greater Houston area that do female events, they're fellas. So yeah. I don't have the complete list of the girls I know, of them I know, like but female Cynthia
Okay.
comes straight to mind
Okay.
on that part.
That's good. That's a good thing.
We're looking at some questions on our YouTube stream. Rodney Wells asked, is it possible that the UIL can move the state tournament to Austin in May for this season? Remember, I said on High School Sports on a TV show this past weekend, and I gave the scenario of probably the only weekend, if at all, but and that would be the weekend of May the 14th. Why? Because that weekend would exceed the 8-week requirement or suggestions by the CDC. They're recommending 8 weeks. They're expecting up to 8 weeks of the cap on of large gatherings. So if you count the weeks from when they made the announcement, that week would end right before then, which would be around May the 11th, May the 14th through the 16th. That's the weekend of the TABC annual convention, which is one of the largest high school governing body conventions in the country. But that's in San Antonio, not in Austin. San Antonio is going to foot the bill because it's kind of like the UIL, of course, paid for the Alamo Dome. Well, they didn't get a chance to use it, and part of the agreement was, from what I understand, that the city of San Antonio was going to help. Hey, look, we got the covered. You get your, whenever you want to resume this, the next one is on us. So why would they go and spend money to remove it to Austin when they can go back to San Antonio and do it there? San Antonio is guys, San Antonio is large. A lot of people they haven't, really just driven around. Some people fly in and go to the Riverwalk and that's it. That's they have a lot of real estate.
Yeah. And they got hills. They got different, what they call it, topography. They got, San Antonio is big. I'm glad you told them. Why would they move it from San Antonio? But Jimmy, would the school be out then?
Well, that's the whole thing. You don't know right now. See, what's the dent on the schools? And because my wife is an educator, and so they have conference calls every other day because she's on the administration at her particular school. So they, certain things, realize that when the decision was made to cancel the STAR testing and all preparations got related to the STAR testing, that's basically the curriculum for most of the public schools is geared around preparing the kids to take and pass the STAR test. That's the whole system is geared around that. So if you're not going to take the STAR test, that means everybody's lesson plan is going to wash. So you can't prepare because that's part of most teachers' lesson plans. So now rewrite them. Okay, rewrite them at this point. You don't know how many weeks that you're going to encompass in that as an educator. So it's likely, I would not be surprised if school is scrapped. I was talking to, I talked with one of the coaches up in the DFW this morning, and he's like some of the school districts are closed indefinitely. Not up to, like in Houston, we got certain schools had certain dates. They're closed indefinitely, and it does not appear that at least one of those districts doesn't appear to be opening up their doors the rest of the season, the rest of the term. So if there's no school, there damn sure ain't gonna be no state tournament. So that's the academic component is first. This ain't college basketball. This first.
They're real student athletes down here.
Yeah. So So I mean, I really, so I mean, it's only thing I did earlier by giving you those dates. That's it was a real thought then, but then the academic component that was before the decision was made to scrap the STAR test by the governor of Texas. So now, guys, the thing about it that's sad is that a lot of those teams have 12th graders that are going to be graduating. So now graduations are of concern because that's on the academic side. Graduations in Houston, I don't know if you guys understand, some schools have like 8,000 or more people at their graduations. Understand that. There are certain schools in Houston that's the minimum at 8,000 plus. So now we're coming, remember, we're only 2 months away. So are we going to be prepared? How are they going to do graduations? How are they going to do graduations? You got to find a way to let those kids be able to get a good walk.
What you can do it virtually. Jimmy, it's just, Jimmy, what y'all don't understand, we're not in normal times. I said it, and I know you said it because people don't give a damn, but I want people to understand this is our new normal. We're not gonna be able to go business like we used to. Jimmy, they are stopping a multi-billion-dollar business. The NBA is not gonna be. I'm thinking because it's gonna be some more tests. Think about it, y'all. It ain't but 450 players in the NBA, and 7 of them got it. Numbers, man, help me with that one. 7 of them got them. Help me with those percentages. What we don't understand, man. I know these kids won't be able to march, but Jimmy, life is not the same as we have it. We still think it's the same. We're still in the clubs. We still think it's the same. We got to have our mindset in a place where it's not the same anymore. And when we ever grasp it, then we'll understand it. Yes, them poor kids. But that same diploma, they're going to be able to get and go to college. Jimmy, graduation, yeah, it was all right. Only thing I remember about graduation is the present and the money that people gave me. People can still give them their money. They can still, I just think, I'm not trying to minimize it, but I understand the new normal because I know what's happening in Italy right now. It's just maybe if I didn't have all this information, this stuff is going to change, y'all. And I told y'all, and I know you didn't hear me because what you said, people don't give a damn. This thing is going to get worse. We're going to have some other liberties taken away from it. And then you're going to say, shoot, graduation. Okay. There's some other liberties you normally have if we don't flatten this thing as soon as possible. So that's all. I just want to, I understand the poor kids, but this is our new normal, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just try to get around it. Jimmy, I'm going to have to come give me a couple of hats. No, I ain't coming over there. You quarantine. I got to give me some hats. I got to start wearing hats. Jimmy, I'm not going to my barber. So y'all, Robert going to be looking like this. You know what? I'm going to shave up around here. I'm not going to no barber.
I'm going to the barber shop.
You can go if you want to.
I'm going to the nail shop.
You can go.
Because I don't care like that.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
Remember. So that's everybody.
That's why you still thinking, oh, you poor kids can't walk across the stage. That's why you still.
I don't care like that about them. If I don't care like that about me, the hell, think about that. If I don't care like that about me, then how the hell you think I'm gonna care like that
But
about
you just said the poor kids and they not want.
I just went through the motions with it. Like that, like that's thinking of the term of you're 17, 18-year-old. Not on the other side, from them, you wanted to go and get it done and go get your moment, your one shining academic moment. But
Some colleges ain't gonna be able to do it. That's a higher academic moment. I'm just telling you.
So that's
Yeah.
you know,
Let's
they're
just pray to
figuring
God
out.
more people care. And then we can get past this thing. Let's pray to God. More people care.
Well, I mean, that's some wheels. Guess what? If they held a graduation, did you think that those family members are still going to go and watch their loved one walk across that stage? Some of them,
Jimmy, you
the
spent 20 minutes talking about how people are like you. We know people like we know. We already know.
So that mean they will weigh the option and say, man,
Guess
I
what?
want to see my baby.
Guess what? Like Michael Smith, he said, I can't go to the barbershop, Adam. I need a cut so bad. Guess what? I got a foot. I got a pedicure kid at home. Put my feet in the water. Hey, I'm just gonna limit my social reactions in my social distances. That's all. Somebody said, you wouldn't feel like that if Little Robert didn't walk across the street. Man, yes, I would have. I promise you. I couldn't wait on that thing to get over with. They called his name. He walked across the stage, and we left. And we sat out there and waited till all them damn people got. Yes, I would. Trey Phillips. Yes, I would. But Trey, if my son, we were living in a time like this. Hold up. Let me make it personal since you went there, because evidently you don't know about me. You just know me on this show. The young man I was talking about the other day that smart enough to say, I'm not going to get on a plane to come down here to a funeral. It was somebody's in my family's funeral that I told him, Trey Phillips, not to come and attend because you risk being on an airplane coming out of New York and coming down here being around a lot of 70, 80-year-old people, and you risk you being a transmitter to them. You go to the Brooklyn, you go to all the Brooklyn's games, you go to all the Nets games, you've been up there around all them people. He was smart enough to say, yes, people are mad. But in your answer, when you're talking about what I wouldn't do, Trey Phillips, hell no. My son is not getting on a plane and coming down here and go to that funeral. Now you know Robert Hallam. What else you got, Jim?
According to the UIL website, which was updated on March the 16th at 2 p.m.
They said what? Say it again, Jim.
The soccer state championship is set for April 29th to May the 2nd. The golf is still the same. That's May the 11th through the 12th. The track and field is still the same, May the 8th through the 9th. The tennis is still the same, May the 21st through 22nd. And the softball, June the 3rd through 6th, that's still the same. And baseball, June the 10th through the 13th, is still the same. There's no word on basketball as far as them, and according to the UIL website. And that's, so somebody asked, I mean, right now, it doesn't look good for that basketball because, right now, just follow the academic in the schools first. Stay tuned to that side of the fence, and it will dictate the rest. Because if the UIL, remember that, the UIL doesn't govern the academic component. That's the TEA. So Just
But
UIL only can control what they can control,
So-
put that stuff in place for athletics.
Jimmy, so you know how y'all have this stuff and we go back, boy, time's passed. Oh my, time has passed. You know how we go back and look in history? And you know, this was a state championship. He won the state championship. What's gonna be there? What's gonna be there, Jimmy? Just an asterisk? They probably won't even mention the four teams that made it. I'm talking about in the history books. When we go back and look,
They just said put no champion. Just put no champion. That's all you can do. You can't give 4 and grant 4 co-champions because you didn't make it to that round. Only 2 teams, 2 separate divisions actually made it to that round, and they could grant both of them as co-champions.
No, but if you do, what's good for the goose, good for the gander.
So that's it's one of those things. That's the part that it would have been better to not have played any of them, probably, or to have maybe finished that day, than to do it like they did it. And that was just kind of funky. It really was, and with the UIL. And
wait a minute. Somebody said, let me get this straight. The NCAA is canceling all spring sports, but Texas is moving forward with theirs.
Well, as it stands right now,
but they were last in the they pulled the basketball tournament. They pulled it at the last minute.
What the NCAA swiftly canceled. Remember, schools, what classes, sessions were canceled. That came right on the heels. Now remember, March Madness was probably was out there on the front line, and they pulled the plug on that first because it was right. It was up on them. They had no more time. They had less than, understand, March Madness was 1 week away. Actually, less than a week away, right? Because this was on a Thursday, a Wednesday or a Thursday, something like that. That week, the following Tuesday, the Sunday was Selection Sunday. Then Tuesday they would be playing the first 4 games up in Dayton, Ohio. And remember, the governor of Ohio had already made the call. Remember, he said it wasn't no games going to be played in his state. So what was the NCAA going to do? Basically, Ohio called it for the NCAA because he explained nothing was going on in Ohio. That governor was proactive and way ahead of it. He was like, no, I'm shutting it down. And ironically, the Cleveland Cavaliers were on a road trip during the announcement, so they were away. But the whole state, this guy said, ain't nothing jumping off of our city. And people was like, wait a minute, you got the Dayton, Ohio, the Dayton region that you do every year. People, I don't care. They ain't gonna play it in here. We're not doing no gatherings in this state.
It's amazing, human beings. It's just amazing to me. Somebody had to tell y'all what to do before y'all do it. It's amazing.
Well, I understand now. In China,
it's amazing.
That was enforced in China. So understand, they wasn't in total just compliance and doing it on their own. Those people made sure people was getting thermometers on the way out the door, on the way back in the door. And remember Cyril White, explained how things, he had came back to the United States and explained. They wasn't just, so understand, if USA wants it to be in pattern, to have a recovery somewhere, even in the remote jurisdiction of the timeline of a China, then you have to go and act remotely and implement what they did. People ain't gonna police themselves to that matter like that.
That's a communist country. Y'all over here think y'all can do it. We the land of the free and the brave. That's a communist country.
Understand, this government each can simply implement deploy the National Guard or the military to enforce a curfew. Like somebody told me yesterday, one of the cities have a curfew now. I forgot what somebody texted me yesterday. Somebody has an 8 o'clock curfew. You guys may know what city it was. An 8 o'clock curfew was in effect from one of the cities in the country. Everybody has so that means what happens if you're outside after 8 o'clock? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to get a citation for being of some sort. But then what happens is now it's going to take lots of manpower to do that. That's a lot of work. But guess what? But it ain't the people that's doing the work. It ain't their call. It's the call comes from up top. So if they want to do it, then that's what needs to be done. And that would explain why a lot of people were running to the stores and hoarding up on supplies.
Dude, I can't find paper towels. Jimmy, the paper towel rack in every store is like it's just deserted. I never seen nothing like this, man. The paper towel, I'm just trying to find out. I just want to know. I just want to know. Boy, I went stocked up yesterday, though. Ooh, yes, sir. Yeah.
I say it again. My suggestion is a lot of the stores.
They say Homestead got a curfew, Jim.
Man, Homestead ain't got no curfew. He just putting it out there. Trust me. That's one place that don't have a curfew is Homestead. Homestead. They having block parties up and down Homestead right there. But one thing I suggest, if you go to the stores, find one of the workers, one of the stockers toward the back, and try to get the schedule of the next delivery. And that will help some of you out. I'm just telling you what I learned when I went to the dollar store the other day. They'll tell you. Some of them may know, some of them don't. Especially if they're stockers.
I don't ask them folks nothing, man.
Oh, you ask them because now
I didn't want to talk to nobody when I was in the store.
Because here's what happens. Now, if you're looking for certain stuff, certain things normally arrive on certain days.
I ain't coming back
to certain places, to certain stores.
Guess what?
And that's true.
I'm just gonna ration. Just go grab one sheet at a time.
There you go. Keep your glove on me. If you do that right there.
Now, I got gloves. I got gloves. Plural, because you can't keep the same glove. I done learned glove etiquette around this joint. Hey, they talking about HEB. Let me tell you something, Mindy, I went all out of my way to go to that HEB over there that her, Mindy, and Angie talking about, Jimmy. They closed on me at 8 o'clock. Jimmy, I was rolling. I didn't know they were closing at 8 o'clock. So, but Kroger wasn't closed. You got me? Kroger wasn't closed. So, I mean, y'all, hey, man, that old, I went to that old, it was closed on me last night. But I guess I'll try again today. What else you got, Jimmy? Let's get out of here, man.
It's time for me to get ready to get up out of here, guys. And I got to go and finish, once again, the spring icebreaker. Got the last remaining 17 teams. Now it's time for me to go and cut the checks and get them their refunds. So that way we will be 100% in compliance with all the teams that have paid, will have received their refunds from the spring icebreaker, which is virtually unheard of.
Send me my money.
Huh?
Send me my money.
Ain't got no problem with it.
Uh-huh.
We got it for you.
But it closed on me, Rob. Hey, Mindy. I need some paper towel, but I ain't gonna come. Just put them somewhere, Jimmy. Jimmy. I know you ain't doing this. I ain't gonna tell you another thing I've been doing. If somebody tell me to come over their house, guess what I do? I drop it off at the door and keep on going. I ain't going to nobody's house doing this thing. Can't do it.
And make sure, guys, you definitely check out the VIP news on RCS Sports Day. Doug Jones has dropped the list of Division I sophomores from Greater Houston who led at the various around the country of all the Division I sophomores, which players led in the most in various categories. Meaning, for example, games played, minutes per game, points per game, rebounds, as well as assists per game. And so it's kind of good that way it remind you of who's did what, where at the D1 level. Also, Marcus Williams of Dickinson High School has decommitted or asked for a release from Northern Colorado. That coach accepted the job at Wyoming the other day. So Marcus Williams, which now becomes probably the hottest unsigned senior probably in the state of Texas, and so understand this is going to be a real hellacious process because the coaches can't come out to evaluate him. They can't go see him at school. They can't go do a home visit. College coaches are basically benched until April, at least until April the 15th. So meanwhile, this young man going to figure it out, but he's going to get his wish.
You got options,
He's definitely get recruited by some Power 7 school.
Oh, he will?
Oh, absolutely. Power 7.
You know what? Tomorrow, I want you to do your research. Could you explain to me why 80% of this guy's team, Greg Marshall, is leaving Wichita State? These the guys that play the most.
Well,
we're going to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, and P.J. Kunznar did an article. They quoted him in the paper, and he explained it. It's part of his time. It's a sign of the time.
Jimmy, Jimmy, all of them guys at one time?
This was what P.J. Kunznar is close to.
But why? Okay. If it's a sign of the times, why isn't it happening at every university?
What he's saying is that because he played his last year at Wichita State was Greg Marshall's first year there, and so basically what PJ was saying that he applied it to his Coos elite program. He said a lot of these kids, the parents in grassroots basketball, they're not even asking how good the team is. They're basically asking, is my baby going to start? Is my baby going to play? And so it starts there, and you're just seeing it.
Jimmy, these people were starting and leading the team and scoring and left.
I read the article and I read PJ's comments.
I'm not worried about what PJ says. I'm looking at these kids. Jimmy, I'm going to tell you why. PJ said that, right? But I know two college coaches, Division I college coaches, said Greg Marshall, told me Greg Marshall is the only coach in the world that he would not want his son to play for or be a coach up under.
You have to understand something. When you're going in the portal, there are a lot of people that if you start at a certain school, you think you can go to a school higher and I can go to one of these you're in a Power 7 already at Wichita State. They're part of the American Conference. But then some people want to go, that same guy might want to go play at Missouri. So some people put their name in the portal thinking that when this guy started here, I led them in a certain category. Let me go and try to boost my stock somewhere else or enhance my odds of accomplishing my NBA dream, hoop dream. Then there's others who are displeased, but it just so happened at this particular school, it's an abnormal amount. This year, I think it's like 8 of those guys that are transferring. Maybe the expectation, you got to realize, Wichita State, they get 15, 16,000 every home game.
Okay, all right. Just to show y'all, okay. Maybe it's maybe they call this social distancing, okay. Jamarius Burden averaged 10 points a game. He left. Noah Fernandez, 1 point a game. I can understand him leaving. Antonio Gordon, a 1 point a game. Can understand him leaving. Grant Sheffield, 8 points a game. Leave. Eric Stevenson, 11 points a game. 4 rebounds. And these other kids that's a lot of players for 1 year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's a lot of players for 1 year. I think that's abnormal. I don't think that's the sign of the time. I think until I see that again, until I see that again, then maybe, then I'll say that's the sign of the team. What? No, it's that program. Jimmy, I know a college coach that used to coach for him had some disparaging things. The man got a new job, and Greg Marshall got mad at him. So it's more. Like me, I just don't read one story. I want to see what everybody say. I just can't read one story. That's just me. But hey, we can end this thing. But hey, Greg Marshall, 5-6 people off your team in 1 year. Nah, something wrong. But you can close out.
Guess what? Them 5 leaves, they'll be replaced by 5 or 6 more.
Okay. All right.
That Porter.
Man, that Porter is looking. What? It's got 300 in there now, right? Already.
I don't know how many now, but I just know that.
About 300. It was 290. It was 290 something last week. So it's unbelievable. Yeah, the portal is amazing. But I'm talking about 5 actions. They said TCU had a mass exodus of players. Did they have 5? TCU?
I don't know. I know last year they had
Did they have 5?
That left last year. I don't know how many they had. Okay. But it's we're not talking about the number, but
that's what I'm talking about, the number.
Well, I mean, somebody got to lead every year. So it's just
5 at a time. If y'all don't find that abnormal, okay, I guess y'all, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gone, man. I got to get out of here. Enjoyed y'all today. But Jimmy, slide them down Dino's back.
That's what the time is now. We're definitely waiting overtime. Let me get busy and get these checks up and get them to the post office.
Well, we out of here.
The 5 o'clock pickup. Anyway, it's time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing. Happy Women Rock Wednesday to the females out there. See you guys in 22 hours. We're up out of here.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless, and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal to the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket, put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the chop shop. Your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man of steals, but I made it still to the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket, put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never